So now we are coming at a very interesting part of our presentation where the question that whether Mahabharat was really a historical event or historical story and Lord Krishna was a person. All the people mentioned in the Mahabharata are actual people, and all the sequence of events those happened were actually there, they happened. This is a big question today because of brainwashing of modern people from modern education system. Sometimes a simple villager believes that yes, Krishna exists, yes, Mahabharata had happened, yes, Ramayana had happened, but so many educated people will say that it didn't happen. Shockingly, this was the same conclusion that it is all mythological. Whose conclusion? I met a pujari in Rameshwaram who was head pujari of that Shivalinga, main temple. He said that who knows whether all this happened or not. What worship he may be doing? What surrender? He doesn't even believe that Lord Ram existed. Why he will believe in what Shivalinga established by Lord Ram? He feels that it is all mythological. It's shocking. So there is no use in such sentimental display of devotion. Where will it take? So if you chant holy names of Lord Krishna, chant Mahamantra, and if you follow Bhagavad Gita, if you seriously try to surrender to Lord Krishna, and you don't have any scientific faith, somebody challenges you, somebody puts in front of you so many proofs that it is all mythology, then what your sadhana is going to do? What do you say? What do you feel? It was asked to Srila Prabhupada once, what if Krishna doesn't exist? You wasted all of your life in doing Krishna.
Now, there is a lots of evidence. If we remove it, give it into that particular thing. Otherwise, it is just a topic of conversation.
Correct. Perfectly nice introduction. If we seek, we will find. And if we seek, we will find wrong also. Both sides we will see. There are certain people, despite of having all evidence, they will never listen. There are such people. And there are some people who are innocent, they want to know the truth, and they get evidence and they get fixed up. Both are there. And both are popular also. Both sides are popular also. So therefore, this side one has to see for the sake of having touched upon all sides of truth, seen the truth from all sides. It is said that Manu Samhita says this, that Pratyaksha, Anuman and Shabda Praman, all of them should be properly understood. Shabda Praman we are seeing, Lord Krishna is supreme, we saw Shabda Praman. Devotion to Lord Krishna, the spirit of Bhagavad Gita and the historical personalities and their acharyas and their version and everything we saw. But empirical observations today, are they there? Now, first of all, let us understand these constraints, human constraints. Can we ask proof for everything so rashly, so forcefully? If we want to navigate the challenges of obtaining direct evidence, what we are asking? Science means we are asking empirical evidence, the evidence which can be seen, which can be evaluated based on scientific instruments. We want that, but we have to understand the difficulty, human constraints. After that, even understanding those constraints, we have solid proofs. But we should also see that how people are attacking, and they are not taking into account the other side of constraints. Now you see evidences are rapidly lost in the breezing changes over centuries. Isn't it true? Now Supreme Court had said that you can't open the files of genocide of Kashmiri Hindus because there are no evidence. It's a law, something like that. It's not possible to again re-establish or see all this because you need to preserve the evidence. If you visit the same city after 10 years, you won't be seeing same things in same place. Everything is changed within 10-15 years. And we are talking about historical timeline of thousands of years, centuries after centuries. And we are asking evidence after so many centuries. Is it not very illogical and full of injustice in a way if we are too much forceful to believe only when we have empirical evidence? This is first limitation. I am not denying that evidences are there. I am saying that you should respect the constraints. We define constraints also. Deliberate destructions of evidences by envious barbaric foreign invaders. Is it not a well-known history of India that so many invaders came, they demonstrated an extreme level of cruelty in destroying so many temples, so many evidences, so many books, so many universities were burnt. Ultimately, where is that place where evidence will be preserved? Tell me. Right. Library, books. Ultimately, where is evidence kept? Written format in a book. And if you burn all the evidences, where from you will get? Then they can easily claim that there is all this is mythology. So who is actually putting the blame that this is all mythology? Who is blaming that this is all mythology? Who is claiming that it is all mythology? Of? Right. If you carefully analyze the people and their mentality, you will be able to see the connection that the people who are asking for evidences are those mostly who are against. They destroyed it. They are part of it, or they are supporters, or they are those who were brainwashed thoroughly. So that is one constraint that we have to understand. Those people and their psychology who are asking for those evidences. Deliberate destructions of evidences. The universities, temples, all are destroyed. Then deliberate negligence or ignorance by politicians for the sake of appeasement politics. Ram Janmabhoomi is testimony of that. There are so many sites where the government doesn't want to open those sites. There is a book by Dr. P.N. Oak on Taj Mahal. It gives the evidences that this is Tejo Mahal. It's a temple, Shiva temple. But government is not allowing. Why?
Because they have their own propaganda. It's
Political. This constraint, why should we forget? We should ask. You open. You are asking evidences. You first open this, then we will give evidences. Jnanvapi we saw.
They will not even agree for the carbon dating.
Correct. So they don't want to do any evidential excavation or survey. They are stopping survey also. But they want evidence. So we should understand who these people are who are asking evidence. Why should we struggle so much to give them evidence? Kick them out. First of all, kick them out of our own education system and our brains and our day-to-day interactions. We should be vocal about this. We should not be silent on this. So this constraint, then lack of factual actions of excavations and explorations, lack of funding. There are organizations which are supposed to fund, and there are organizations which are stopping the funds. They are playing politics. So these things are there. Attacks on the roots by international forces. Now, why they attack Brahmins and Brahminical patriarchy? They say stop Brahminical patriarchy. Sometimes we hear all Brahmins should be killed, murdered. These Brahmins are not local people. They came from somewhere. They are not local residents. All these propaganda they make, and they blame so many things.
They are the knowledgeable person who will tell the knowledge.
Correct. If you want to pull down a huge tree, it's difficult to cut it down. But if you poison the roots, then it is gone. So therefore, there is a propaganda by which those carriers of knowledge, those who understand Sanskrit, those who are dedicated in preserving the culture, education, they are blamed. It's not that there was no black spot in history. There were problems in history. In fact, there were saints who were, tortured by a Brahmin, like Sant Tukaram was tortured by a Brahmin. And there were some Brahmins who could not give justice to Sant Gyaneshwar. In every part of the world there are cases. But do we highlight them as standards? No. What is a Brahmin by definition? Shamo damah tapah shaucham shanti rajyavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma swabhavacham. Brahma karma, Brahman का कर्म क्या है? Shamah, control of senses. Damah, control of mind and control of senses. Shama, Dama, Tapa, being very austere. He doesn't complain. He is not having food. He is not having money. He is detached. Tapa, Shaucham, he is very clean. Antarbahya clean. Shaucham. Shama, Dama, Tapa, Shaucham. Shanti, he is very peaceful. So if somebody is angry at somebody else, he is not considered Brahmin by qualities. If somebody is torturing somebody, he is not considered properly situated Brahmin. He is called Brahma Bandhu in our culture. Shantir, Arjavam. Arjavam means simplicity, straightforwardness. So these qualities actually define who you are. And if you take media after results in a college and you take interviews of all failed students, then is it a real picture of that college? And can you blame college for that failure of the students? Of course, if 99% are failure, then you may blame totally. But if you have 1%, 2% failure and you are highlighting those failures and then focusing on them and portraying that is the college, then it is not correct. So this is one more constraint, that selective presentation and attack on the roots. They will attack Shivaji Maharaj, they will attack Samartha Ramdas, they will attack all saints, they will attack all knowledge carrying people, they will attack everything. They will attack food, they will attack lifestyles, they will have false propaganda. He was saying that you cannot survive without non-veg. It's not true. You can't survive without drinking wine and intoxication. It's not true. आज समय के साथ आपको बदलना होगा अच्छे के लिए. This is false propaganda. You don't have to change your pure lifestyle to get adopted. You don't have to smoke. If your college mates are saying, अरे ये smoking नहीं करता है, he's old, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, old school thoughts, ये दूध पीता बच्चे है क्या दारू पिएगा. They will taunt like that. Is it progressive? But is it not progressive today? They give, all, intoxicants to our army, navy, and air force. They give at a very less rate, low rate. Why? Because they want all our fighters to become drunkards, so that they will lose sense. This is propaganda, and we are falling under it. All our relatives, once we change our little lifestyle, if you stop eating some prohibited food, immediately they will say, you are digressing, you are not progressing in life. Because of you, we are suffering. So these are constraints. The atmosphere, the ecology, the environment is so much polluted by these invaders, and they have attacked on roots. So this we have to understand, that even if evidences are there, why we are not reaching there, why we are not giving priority to them, how we are failing to protect our culture and our own this thing. Ramayana, Mahabharat and Bhagavad Gita, all scriptures. So after this, now we will come to the point of the solid empirical foundations. Now I am going to take help of certain videos, because I feel you should see them originally, that these people have worked. I can present them, but let us get directly from them. There are archaeological surveys of lost cities. Their artifacts are found out. There are clear evidences. You have heard of Mohenjo-daro, Harappa civilization and those lost cities. They are excavated. There is one Mr. Rao, Dr. Rao, S.R. Rao, I feel. He has excavated Dwarka city under seawater. So there are evidences of city under water. So now there are some cave paintings which are called petroglyphs. There are satellite imagery, radar, sonar, radiography based evidences. There is some software called Stellarium software, and there are astrological charts, constellation patterns and cosmic events. We'll try to understand them from proper authorities, that all of them are giving empirical foundation of proof. Historical timeline of literatures written by different authors in different languages across globe. That includes travel logs, historic storyline verification across geographical locations. Like you have the path that Lord Ram traversed, and you go and ask in every village, to every villager, he will tell the same story. Why? Can you make a play like that to be played by all civilizations? You go to Burma, you see something. You go to Germany, you see something. You go to UK, you see something from Vedic culture. All of them will lie. It's not possible. Travel logs, somebody traveled to India. Historic storylines verification, geographical location, temples and deities across the world are found. There is a village called Neresingen in Germany, where Lord Narasimha's deity was found. Why did they name the village as Neresingen? Because Lord Narasimha is there. So like that, in Kabul, Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in remote places, Russia, Chin, the name Chin is there in Mahabharat. Chin, as it is, this name is there. And the location is same, indicated same. So these are evidences, geographical, civilizational descriptions. When Arjun went to fight on north side, the description is given that he visited which all civilizations and how were those people, what are their bodily characteristics. You can find still those characteristics, and you can find evidence of Arjun's visit there when you go there. They know that Arjun had come. After 5,000 years, can a story run, can a film run for 5,000 years? It can't. Names used for natural entities like trees, rivers, mountains. This is one book, Mahabharat retold with scientific evidence. In this book, all these points are discussed and evidences are given. The cities which were found out, the systematic cities, and as I said, there are some trees and this map of the places during that time, Mahabharat time. This map is shown. And in this, the names of those places at that time and the names of those places now, they are given. Then, if you see further, all the artifacts like this are shown. Golden ornaments and some, utensils or some pots, all this, and there are some writings written on them, the tools, all these are given as evidences. Then I was speaking about even trees and their names. So which kind of tree grows in which place? What was it called at that time? What it is called now? And those trees you can find still now there. When in Mahabharat, the description is that Pandavas, they went from place to place, jungle to jungle, when they were in exile. So there is elaborate description of which animals were there in that jungle. How was that geographically located? The names of mountains, the names of various trees and fruits. And you find that those fruits are there in that area. Those trees are there in that area. So that way also this is one of the proofs, acceptance and verifiability of the principles in real world life by various civilizations. If you see, those principles are accepted by civilizations and followed for thousands of years. And then finally the personal realizations around us by saintly, truthful people and by ourselves. People will tell their realizations when they follow the path. And you can verify it by your own realization. So these 10 reasons I gave, these 10 empirical observations. Now each of them have a lot of results, a lot of research, I may say. This is Heliodorus pillar. This stone column was erected around 113 BC, before Christ era, in central India near Vidisha, Madhya Pradesh. Now I wanted to show you this video. Similar to this, there is one more book written by one author. I just wanted to show you that. This is visible to you.
Okay, so earliest inscriptions हैं, क्योंकि हमने भी research की है. So earliest inscription कब तक मिलता है इसमें हमारे से कंपेयर?
तो earliest undeciphered inscription, मतलब जो inscription हम
See, petroglyphs or cave paintings. This is a cave painting in which Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram and Subhadra, or the Yogamaya, she is depicted. So that is one of the proofs which is coming. I just wanted to show you that video where this is considered as one of the significant proofs.
Very different area. Actually, Dwarika, both the two different groups have not found actually the correct Dwarika. If you see this,
See this. Now this is most published, research about excavation, archaeological survey. They are not doing it at right place. This is first thing. And they are showing that this is all in all. Now this man has exposed everything about it. And it's a very scientific presentation. And he has given all scientific evidences of where exactly is Dwarka and how fascinating it is. And 90% excavation that Mr. Chandru was saying, that 90% excavation is still not done, is what he has shown. He has shown all satellite images. And
Dr. Blake got a line here. The actual Dwarika is here. And this total area is basically 40 different islands.
40 islands.
Which actually the original Dwarika is squared here. You might see here some visible islands, and when our satellites and divers into the deep sea, you will find the original Dwarka. You see again, this is again the satellite map where you see here Oha.
It's not a structure which is naturally made, it's a man-made structure.
Not now using that all that is using the power. So this is true because
How many of us know this book?
So actually this book prompted me and gave me a very solid challenge to do such Dwarka. When I received this criticism against my father and Dr. So this is one gene, and I started searching Dwarka from 2000. And it took 18 years, particularly in covering entire research work of the undersea. In the Heliodorus,
This is very important.
Island released by the ocean. I have shown you already the island. Ceramic stones.
They are ceramic stones.
I think modern architect design. Never.
After 5,000 years, this ceramic
Now,
structure
you see, we have some good island here. This is Manchester Island. Now still, when this entire work of living is people having both the two sides and the structures are here.
There are channels of water across cities.
Please sea channel. Which is actually human made sea
Human
channel.
created
on
sea
which,
channel.
Bhagavad Krishna fort.
This is Bhagwan Krishna's residence.
And if you see here,
It is surrounded by deep sea water from all sides.
Whenever it is there,
Because-
another one.
Because a king is residing at most protected place, and it is raised 60 feet above normal height. So all that is described in Harivansh Purana, and it is seen here. And all these white color are walls, ceramic structures, and on these ceramic structures lot of corals have grown. The rate with which the corals grow, if you calculate the height of those corals today, the official age given by Gujarat, he mentions, you can see, the official number which is given is pointing to 5,000 years back. So these all proofs are there. These ceramic structures, these walls are there, just like we have express highway. You can enter express highway at a certain location, and there is a toll and security, everything. You can't just enter from anywhere. Like that, Dwarka was protected with huge walls, 100 feet wall. He found with radiology and satellite imagery, he found all of this.
These are the radiology images.
Huh? Satellite images. But with radiology, they measure. With radars and sonars, they make measurements. But all of this means there is no funding, there is no, this man is doing it on his own. They are not excavated. And he says that there are ports, bandar bolte hai na, bandar, ships ke liye. There are well-designed ports, on top of which our modern ports are sitting. And he points out that these ports, wherever there is possibility that the land can go down, or जैसे ये होता है ना हमारे खंडाला घाट में, you put so many structures so that it will not fall down. Similarly, they have man-made structures. Not only these walls, but under ports there are man-made magnificent structures which will hold that location so that it will not accidentally fall down. So all these evidences are there. Mahabharat, this last thing I will show. I will forward all these links to you. In Mahabharat times, there was a nuclear war. There has been evidences of those nuclear wars also. So I think somewhere I have that also. I tried to question ChatGPT and tried to find out whether it is, leftist philosophy. I could find that. See, researchers find proof of ancient atomic war a great many years prior. So this article says that during Mahabharat war there was a nuclear weapon used, and there are certain symptoms by which we can detect. So like that there are things, even 5,000 years back, whatever is mentioned, there are certain evidences, and it's greatness of our civilization that the evidences have seen so far of timeline. That inscription that he mentioned about that pillar, cliffs, petroglyphs in caves, all of this is amazing. They are pointing to our, historical proofs or empirical evidences of our own civilization. So with that, I think we should be sufficiently convinced about Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharat as our history. You can, if you want to find more, you can get connected, you can buy these books. Amazon pe hai. Amazon se. That particular book also I have ordered, it will come on Wednesday. Myth or this thing by Dr. Mr. Chandru. He is a software engineer. He left his job and he is into this research. So his interviews also I will send you on
So
WhatsApp.
he was investigating since 2001.
One.
Yeah.
His father was the main Mr.
Ha. He wrote, but now with all modern technologies, he is finding the evidences. And he has gone there are so many staggering things he says. That how Lord Krishna protected the walls, how he protected the Dwarka. There are some walls which are 100 feet tall, and he has protected it from Pakistan side, Karachi. Those walls are there, and he had all the way up to Nala Sopara from Dwarka. There is a wall in Mumbai. So Mumbai.
Yeah.
So from Gujarat, all evidences he has given. So it's an amazing thing. We should be proud of all of this. And you see in Discovery Channel and those channels, they will be going. There will be continuous programs on underwater discoveries. But do we do this in India? No, because there is a propaganda. Because they wanted us to believe that we never had strong civilization. We are beggars, and we are just meant to serve them. We are servants, and all that knowledge we have is inferior. It's all mythological. They want to take away belief. They want to poison our roots, and we see the effects today. We are nowhere. As far as our foundational principles of life are there, our new generations are finding it difficult to fit themselves into Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana and Mahabharata. Many of them don't even know what is Ramayana, what is Mahabharata. It's a very sad thing, but there is a treasure of not only teachings but also evidences. Now, we saw Pratyaksha Anuman and Shabda Praman. We should seek Pratyaksha Praman to get faith, Anuman Praman to get sufficient faith. But it's not that we spend whole of our life in empirical evidences which are there on bodily platform. 10th point that I said was, many people in the past have benefited from this knowledge and freed themselves from miserable existence. Bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavam agata. Krishna says that many have attained perfection by following this path. So how do we have an evidence from that point of view? That is more serious for us. Can you go to that Dwarka and go down and go for excavations and archaeological surveys and everything? We will be believing this fellow, and someday somebody else will come. He was all fake things. He did not, and this is the reason. That is the reason. That color and that satellite showed something which is, he twisted the truth or something. What we will do in that case? We should mature in our research, and the research is more towards inside than outside. Self-realization is the topic of Bhagavad Gita. So the point is, okay, initially we have to defend our faith and establish strongly on foundation of what we observe. And Krishna has given us, sufficient evidence. People have given. So with that, what we should do is yonta sukho antararamaha tatha antarjyotireva. One whose happiness is within, not without, from outside. So realization of self is a process which is within. Realization of God is a process which is within. For that there is a methodology. So Krishna gives all this methodology. He says that yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya. Yatra uparamate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya. Once you taste the spiritual sense, spiritual consciousness, uparamate chittam, uparama hona matlab you will be bored of material happiness. You will not take any pleasure in material happiness. It will be insignificant. Yatra uparamate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya. Yatra chaiva atmanam pashyati. Means you can see by spiritual eyes your own self within you. Yatra chaiva atmanam Pashyan means by seeing. Atmani tushyati. You will be satisfied when you see yourself as a soul. What happens after that? Sukham atyantikam. You will be so happy by seeing your real self, because it will be such a beautiful darshan. You will forget what you look in mirror. You look so charming and absolutely beautiful without birth, old age, disease, death. In your Swarup Deha, Siddha Deha, or your spiritual body. You'll say, what a dirty dress I am wearing. I am such a beautiful person. Niruddham yoga seva. Yatra chaiva atmanam pashyan atmani tushyati. When you see, you will be fully satisfied. Sukham atyantikam yattad. Buddhigrahyam atindriyam. Buddhigrahyam means you will be seeing all this in your purified intelligence. Sukham atyantikam yattad buddhigrahyam atindriyam. It is not by indriya. It is not by external senses. Atindriyam. Yam labdhvacha param labham manyate na adhikam tata yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. Means once you obtain that state of consciousness, of self-realization, you will be situated in such a happiness, unlimited, unbounded happiness, that you will not feel that there is anything to be achieved after this. This is bas, I don't want anything else. And once situated in that consciousness, you will never be miserable again. Yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaiva atmana atmanam pashyan atmani tushyati sukham atyantikam yattad buddhigrayam atindriyam vetti yatra na chaivayam sthita chalati. I forget. Yam labdhvacha param labham manyate nadhikam tatha yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. Biggest misery also falls upon you. Dukkhena guruna na vichalyate. You will not be विचलित नहीं होंगे आप. बड़े से बड़ा दुख भी आपके ऊपर, संकट भी आपके ऊपर आएगा तो वो आपको विचलित नहीं कर पाए. तम विद्या, that knowledge, dukkha sanyoga viyogam, by which you will always be disassociated from dukkha, yoga samanitam, that you will obtain by spiritual knowledge. So it has nothing to do with whether Dwarka existed or not. You test it whether you can obtain that, and you see such people. There are so many stories today, there is no time, it is exhausted. But there are so many real life stories, evidences of this in history, and you yourself test it. It's a, that मैं बोलूँगा आइसक्रीम बहुत अच्छा है, वो कोई और बोले बहुत अच्छा है, खा के देखो, खा के देखे बिना नहीं होगा. तो that evidence is within. This Bhagavad Gita is the song of the God that has to be heard by the soul within his own heart. He has to get connected with God. And that place, Krishna assures, is such a safe place at the lotus feet of God in pure devotion, that when you sit at that place, you will be waking up from the bad, horrible dream of birth, old age, disease and death. Understand this. What we are experiencing as misery is all a dream for us. But what I am saying is appearing to be dream. The spiritual realization is appearing to be dream. But actually that is reality and we are in dream. And we have to wake up from that dream. That experience and knowledge is in Bhagavad Gita. So the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita is more towards waking up from within, rather than seeking too much of empirical evidence and getting lost in it. I hope I made a proper presentation for arousing that spirit within you, and that is the book which we want to deeply understand by the help of spiritual master. Now the next discussion is qualification of an ideal disciple. We saw what should be there in spiritual master. We saw what book we have to understand and what is its syllabus and what it gives to us. Now we should become a proper student. So qualification of an ideal disciple, that is the next topic. Okay, I took a lot of time, sorry, but finished. These two topics were big topics, therefore it took 2 sessions each. Now next topics, 3 sessions, the positive thinker series will be over. Hare